So this is the video for the hip and low back mobility and to release. So we're going to start off with some very gentle movements on the floor. Beginning with your right leg, we'll bring the right knee towards the chest and we're just going to mobilize the ankle just by circling the ankle or flexing and pointing the foot, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And this is just to warm the joint up a little bit. And then from there, we're going to take our time to hold on to the thigh, keep the shoulders relaxed, and bend and straighten the knee just as much as feels comfortable. This is not about flexibility, this is not a hamstring stretch. This is purely just to warm up the knee joint. So stay nice and relaxed, keep the movement going. And then our third movement is to hold on to the thigh and just circle that thigh around to get movement now into our hip joint. Just waking up that hip joint, increasing the mobility there. And remember, with all of these movements, go to the level that suits your body. We're not trying to force anything here, we're trying to encourage movement. Now from there, our fourth movement is to bring the knee to the chest. Use the opposite hand, so for me it's the left hand holding onto the right knee, letting the right arm gently relax against the floor. We take a deep breath in to prepare, and as we exhale we draw the knee across just a little way. Hold it there as you take another deep breath in, and exhale, gently draw the knee across a little further. Now you're in control, you decide how far that your body allows you to go. And then once you're there, just hold it there, breathing nice and deeply to release the lower back and the hip. When you're ready, slowly bring it back to center. And then we relax. Let both of the legs rest beside each other for a moment so you can notice what you've accomplished, what you've achieved. We'll feel this leg is much more relaxed. So we do the same on the other side. We bring the knee towards the chest and we get the movements of the ankles first. So I'm just circling the left ankle, breathing nice and deeply. And then from there we move on to the knee. We gently bend and straighten the knee just as much as feels comfortable for you. And then once we've warmed up the knee joint, we hold on to the thigh and circle the thigh around. All of these movements you can do for a short space of time. You can really extend it when you're practicing on your own. You can do these movements for a lot longer time if it feels good. We should do movements that feel good for our body. Now when you're ready, we bring it back to the center. Use the opposite hand to hold on to the knee. Let the left arm fall to the floor. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, gently draw the knee across. Again, inhale. Exhale, draw it across a little bit more. Keep breathing, keep this shoulder relaxed against the floor so that we have something to move away from. Remember, you're in control, just go as far as feels comfortable for you. Keep breathing fully, deeply, gently. And when you feel ready, slowly and gently bring that back to the center. Good. Then we're going to bend both of our knees, having our feet flat on the floor. So our next exercise is to help decompress the lumbar portion of the spine. So we have our feet, knees and hips in line. And you'll notice that there's a tendency for the knees to flare out to the side or knock together. Try to keep them in line, but stay relaxed while doing this. We're going to reach the arms over the head as much as feels comfortable. If you need to space the arms apart to make it more comfortable for the shoulders, that's fine. But we're going to press the feet into the floor Reach the fingertips towards the wall behind you, and the knees move towards the wall in front of you. So we get a sense of traction all the way along the spine before we slowly paste the spine back down onto the mat. Okay, so we'll do that again. We'll repeat this a few times. So we press the feet into the floor. We reach the fingertips towards the back wall, knees towards the wall in front of you, keeping your spine lengthened as it's lifted, and maintaining that length, we slowly exhale, lowering the spine down. One more time. Press the feet down, lift the hips and the spine, fingertips reach back, knees moving forwards as we slowly, slowly roll the spine down onto the floor. Once we've done that, just take a moment to notice how your lower back feels before we go to the final exercise where we let our hands rest on our thighs. Have the hands as close to the hip joints as possible and let your palms press against the thighs. And as you keep pressing the thighs away from you, try to move your rib cage and your chest towards your chin. So we're getting a sense of traction in our lumbar spine. Now keep breathing as you continue to press the thighs and move the rib cage and the chest towards the chin. So keep breathing as you hold that traction. And when you feel ready, gently, slowly relax. Okay, so this is the standing section of the hip and low back sequence. And we're going to stand with our feet about 3 to 4 foot lengths away from each other. Also try to stand on narrow train tracks rather than a tightrope, so try not to have the feet in line with each other. Have them spaced apart, more in line with the outsides of the hips. This makes it a little more stable. We're going to bend both of the knees and gently circle our hips around. So think of drawing a circle with your tailbone. Don't worry how coordinated or uncoordinated you are. Focus just on getting movement into these hip joints, warming the hip joints up a little bit. Okay, fantastic. Then, from there, let's straighten the legs as much as feels comfortable and square the hips so that you're trying to point your belly button towards the big toe of the front foot. Lengthen the breastbone away from that belly button and slowly lean forwards. Notice how your tendency is for this front hip to move forwards. So use your thumb of the same hand to pull that hip backwards. It's absolutely fine to bend the knees if your hamstrings are tight. We lengthen the rib cage away from the hips on the inhale. As you exhale, gently, slowly start to lean forwards, just as much as feels comfortable for you. Let your hands rest on the supporting leg, but not on the knee. We don't want to put pressure on the knee joint. So keep lengthening as you inhale, relaxing as you exhale. Everybody's flexibility is different, so just go to what feels comfortable for you. If your hands make it to the floor, fantastic. If your hands are on the legs, excellent. And we hold it there. It's the breath within the pose that does the work. So once we're there, we just keep breathing nice and deeply, allowing the breath to do the work for us. One more breath. Then from there we're going to gently, slowly bend both of the knees and lower the back knee down. We're going to scoop that back foot towards the back of the mat, taking the leg with it, and move the front foot a little further forwards. What we want to avoid is the knee of the front leg going past the toes, so keep the knee directly above the ankle. From there, you'll notice your tendency to get out of the stretch here is to move your hips back. So try to keep your pelvis moving forwards towards the front of the mat, towards the front heel. Keep lifting the chest. You might find that coming up onto the fingertips suits you better, absolutely fine. but keep pressing the top of the back foot into the floor, and if you need padding beneath your back knee, then place a blanket or a towel underneath your knee to give you some cushioning. We hold it here for a few breaths. Hopefully you'll feel that your body sinks a little deeper into it as your body releases the tension. And then from there, we curl our back toes under and we lift the knee. We take our time to move our feet a little closer together and bring ourselves up to a standing position. We do the same thing on the other side. So now we'll have our other foot forwards, 3 foot lengths, 3 or 4 foot lengths between the 2 feet, and square your hips so that your belly button points towards the big toe of the front foot. Sink down, bending those knees, and let's circle those hips again. A very nice movement for just improving the mobility of our hips and our lower back. Keep breathing nice and deeply, keep the crown of the head lifting up. And then when you feel as though you've warmed those hips up just a little, we then straighten the legs. Keep facing forwards, big toe, belly button points towards the big toe of the front foot. We lift the rib cage, lift the chest, and exhale as we fall. Just a little at first. Remember, you can bend your knees a little if you need to. We inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, slide the hands down the legs just as much as feels comfortably challenging for you. If you're able to get your hands to the floor, then that will give you a little more support, but don't strain your lower back or hamstrings. We inhale, lengthen, and exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, relax. Keep breathing nice and deeply throughout the whole pose. When you're ready, bend the knees and gently lower the back knee down. From there, let's move the feet further away from each other, so take your back leg towards the back and the front leg comes forward, making sure that your front knee does not go past the toes. And we just gently move our pelvis forward, so the front of the pelvis is moving towards the front of the heel, the breastbone is moving away from the navel, and the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Looking forwards, just breathing full deep breaths into the rib cage, into the chest, and into the back. And as we hold this pose, breathing nice and deeply, we start to feel ourselves sinking a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready, we gently, slowly take the leg back, and we'll have a brief rest in child's pose. Okay, from child's pose, we bring ourselves to an all-fours position so that your hands are beneath your shoulders and your knees are beneath the hips. Now, I'm going to use a block for this pose, but you can use a cushion or a rolled-up towel or blanket. And all we're going to do is gently, slowly bring the right knee towards the right hand and take the ankle towards the left hand. So it doesn't have to go all the way. The closer the ankle goes to the hand, the more intense this stretch is going to be here. So this is where the prop comes in, whether we use a block or a phone book or a cushion. We then start to slowly move the back leg, the left leg, further back so that we're dropping our hips down. Make sure that there is no pain, no pressure on the knee. We should just feel a stretch in our right buttock and the outer part of the thigh. Now from there, if you want to make this more intense, you will just bring your right foot further forwards, making the angle of the knee a little wider. And we can first of all just have a little sway from side to side, moving with awareness, just to see how it feels, so you can get into the right position for you. Everyone's body is different. Now if you feel that you want to take it a little further, you can walk your hands forwards a little bit more and gently lower the elbows down. It's tempting to collapse. Try to avoid doing that. Try to keep pressing your forearms into the floor so that you're actually pushing your weight back into those hips that we're trying to release. Keep breathing nice and deeply, and think of your left hip, the outer part of the hip and thigh dropping down towards the floor. And we hold this for a few breaths. And then when you feel ready, take your time to walk your hands back towards you. Moving slowly, we take ourselves back into an all-fours position. Give the hips a little bit of a wiggle so you can feel what you've achieved. Then from there we bring our left knee towards the left hand and our ankle towards the right hand. We place the block underneath that left thigh or buttock and slowly take our right leg back. Keep pressing the top of the back foot into the floor to help take the pressure off the knee, but remember, use padding beneath your knee if necessary. If you want to make it more intense, you bring this left foot a little further forwards, and as we did before, just have a little gentle sway from side to side. So we're moving with a purpose, trying to find where the stretch is for us. And when you feel that you're there, keep breathing nice and deeply, lengthen your spine, walk your hands forwards, and gently lower your elbows to the floor. Keep pressing the forearms down, try to drop the shoulders away from the ears, pushing your weight back into the legs. Keep breathing, letting the outer part of your right thigh drop towards the floor, while your left thigh remains fixed against the floor or the prop that you're using. As before, breathe nice and deeply with each breath. See if you can notice that area of tension soften and relax. Then when you're ready, we slowly, gently walk our hands back towards us. And we slowly move the leg back so that we're in our all-fours position, and we sink our hips backwards once again towards child's pose.